It kind of sounds like a textbook description of like incel culture.
Well, the answer, I feel like to understand how we got, you gotta know more about who he is to try and wrap your head around that, because I don't think it necessarily started that way. So people who knew him claim that he struggled with substance use disorder throughout his early years. And by the time he got to Washington State University for his PhD, it seems like he was somewhat of a loner who had a very clear disdain for women. He was a TA working for a criminology class leading up to the murders, and his classmates and the students that he taught describe his behavior toward women and comments that he made in class. They described them all as misogynistic and antagonistic. And he even implied to another student that women should be housemakers and have no business getting master's degrees. And apparently he'd been given multiple warnings about his behavior, but after months of this, the school did get fed up, and just shortly after the murders, actually, but before he was caught, he got fired from that TA position. It got that bad.
It kind of sounds like a textbook description of like incel culture.
It kind of is. The term is associated with an online subculture of mostly male and heterosexual people who define themselves as unable to find a romantic or sexual partner despite desiring one. And then they often blame or objectify and denigrate women and girls as a result. So Patterson and Ward's book, as well as the documentary we mentioned, and lots of experts in this case, say that Kohberger, not just that we're talking about incel in general, but he was specifically modeling himself after a guy named Elliot Rodger, who I wasn't super familiar with. Elliot was a 22-year-old mass murderer who went on a stabbing and shooting spree in Isla Vista, California, targeting primarily women outside of a sorority and the surrounding area. He killed 6 people, injured 14 others before taking his own life. And in all of this, he complained about how he was still a virgin, and he hated women for rejecting him.